Welcome back, everyone. I am the Kaiju no Kami, and it's time for another Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai episode. This time, I'm covering Time Force's Lovestruck Rangers to Time Rangers Pink Temptation. The core plot is that the monster of the week seduces the male rangers into falling in love with her, which drives the Pink Ranger crazy, though for entirely different reasons. Our Time Ranger episode kicks off with a lonely father hiring the Time Rangers to locate his fiancée, Kyoko, a woman he met through a dating service, gave money to so she could help her sick mother, and then disappeared.
この京子さんという人に。
綾瀬。
確かに病気の母親の手術代に200万円ほど。
Yuri feels bad for the guy and decides to try to help him out with chores around his home, only to constantly screw them up.
なんか焦げ臭いな。
すいません。
In the meantime, Tatsuya meets up with Kyoko and returns home utterly in love with her.
京子さんは素晴らしい女性だ。彼女は病気の母親を抱えて一人で生きている。けなげな女性だ。
The same happens with Domon, while Ayase ends up blowing their date instantaneously.
俺にも一目惚れしたなんて言うんじゃないだろうな。
ごめんなさい。
おい。
Yuri confronts the woman only to be belittled for not being as pretty as her.
あなたには女としての魅力がないってこと。
We also come to learn Kyoko is the latest Lundar's monster released by Leela, as she is the greatest marriage con artist of the 30th century, and Leela informs the woman that her latest victims are Time Rangers.
通りで金がないはずだわ。
Yuri goes through a massive makeover just in time as Kyoko has brainwashed Tatsuya, Ayase, and Domon into fighting each other, though the spell is broken as soon as they see the new and improved Yuri. A battle ensues, which features Yuri going crazy on the vicious snake woman for insulting her feminine qualities, and she is imprisoned. The episode ends with Yuri leaving a goodbye letter to the father, pretending to be Kyoko, and then she has a nice trip.
すいません、ゆりさん。
That is a pretty funny way to end an episode that was very entertaining overall, because it shows that no matter what, Yuri's always going to be clumsy in some aspects. As for the Time Ranger counterparts, the episode begins with Jen handing out new jobs to her cohorts.
So what are you gonna do?
Somebody has to stay here and answer the phone.
Why does she always get to answer the phone?
Lucas is washing cars when a woman named Angelique's car refuses to start. Naturally, Lucas tries to help her out and is enchanted by her snake bracelet. She proceeds to do the same to Trip and Wes afterwards, leaving all three of them love-struck.
What are you doing here? Well, I'm here for my date with Angelique. Your date? She's here to meet me. Look, back off. Back off. She doesn't like you. You have nothing to...
Jen grows jealous after learning that Wes is infatuated with another woman. However, the situation grows dire as the trio of men leave Jen and Katie to fend for themselves when Ranzik and his daughter attack the city.
Ranzik's in the city and the girls really need your help.
Tell them we're busy.
Wow!
Fortunately for them, they are able to defeat the mutant duo. Afterwards, Jen scolds the three boys, making the promise to never seek out Angelique again.
We are Time Force Rangers. When duty calls, nothing else matters. Got it?
This does not stop them as they all meet her once again, but only after Jen has discovered the sneaky seductress is a mutant. She confronts Angelique.
Fire! Ah! Ugh, my bracelet!
And then proceeds to kick her ass in retaliation for seducing Wes, as she is in love with the guy.
Tentacles, what have you done?
After the battle, Wes and Jen have a heart-to-heart moment that is interrupted by the ringing phone, and the episode ends.
Nick of time, odd jobs.
Denied. Both episodes are quite enjoyable. I do like how Time Ranger actually builds up Kyoko being one of the Londurs monsters, especially since the first time we as the audience see it is when she is with Domon as her reflection in the mirrors of her monster form.
私は信じるわ。たった今から。あなたってたくましいのね。
Adding to that, she doesn't actually put the three Rangers under a spell. She just charms them with her beauty, whereas in Time Force, Angelique already knows who the Rangers are right from the get-go and puts them under a spell immediately. I also love the scene where Kyoko antagonizes Yuri and we see a bunch of animated sequences where Yuri's self-esteem diminishes, which even ends with bird droppings on her.
私だって。
Not to mention we have the Tex Avery-like scenes after Yuri shows up with her makeover to the boys, though this might feel out of place to some, whereas Time Force kept everything pretty straightforward. I'm not sure why, but I really like the cartoon-esque gags as they work for me even though they shouldn't. I think it helps that the episode builds up its situation, whereas Time Force just jumps right into it without any sense of suspense. Another strong point for Time Ranger is we don't have some random battle sequence in the middle of the episode as all of the action is saved for the climax, while Time Force has Ransik and Nadira for some reason blowing things up. I'm not exactly sure what their motivation was, they just do it because
I'm evil.
On the other hand, Time Force does try to keep things in a more realistic manner as opposed to Yuri having one of those normal Japanese makeovers that seems to be days worth of material happening in mere hours, if not minutes. Both episodes are quite enjoyable, however, I am going to give the edge to Time Ranger for them building everything up to the battle at the end as opposed to having an action sequence tossed into the middle of the story. Plus, like I said, I like the way Kyoko uses her charm to seduce men as opposed to putting them under a spell, which is something Power Rangers is always known for. If anyone is ever acting weird in Power Rangers, it means magic is involved.
Then West is under a love spell. That's great. I mean, that's horrible.
And with that said, that brings an end to another Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai episode. See, I promised I'd get another episode out this year. Granted, it's only 2 episodes, but hell, 2 is better than 1, right? I think so. Yeah, depends what it is though. Because, yeah, you don't want 2 hernias or 2 things can't... Never mind. Have you seen these episodes of Time Force and Time Ranger? If so, which one did you think was better? If not, what did you think of this episode if you've seen one or the other? Let me know in the comments below. Click like, click subscribe, click the bell notification, click whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support me. You can support me on Patreon at Kaiju no Kami, Facebook at Kaiju no Kami, Instagram Kaiju no Kami, Twitter Kaiju no Kami, and my website creativitybydesignllc.com. Until next time, bye.